No human life lost due to road crash is unacceptable. Now, beyond that, we have very interesting stats when it comes to Ghana. Just this year, let me bring up the stats for you. Just this year, from January to October 2024, there have been 11,127 road crashes reported. 18,879 vehicles have been involved. From January to October this year, 2,038 people have lost their lives through road crashes. 12,921 people have been injured, and 1,986 pedestrians have been knocked down. This is definitely not acceptable. Now, as we enter December, we all know what happens. Christmas season, it usually gets worse. Today, we are having a conversation on how we can have an accident-free festive season or accident-free Christmas season. What would it take for us to see this in Ghana? I have two gentlemen that will be joining me to have this conversation. But as you know, the show is proudly brought to you by Hisense. Whether you're talking about home appliances, from TVs, ACs, fridges, microwaves, whatever it is, Hisense is the brand that should come to mind. The very moment you think about, oh, I need to get something for my home, the first thing that should come to mind is Hisense. I have their TV, I have their fridge. Very soon I'll be getting, I have the TV, I have the AC, I'll be getting their fridge and the microwave during this Christmas. And so the show is proudly brought to you by Hisense. We're going to go for a quick break. When we come back, I introduce the gentleman, and then we'll get into the conversation of how we can make sure this Christmas nobody loses their lives. Join us after the break. Guys, today is going to be a very interesting conversation because behind the scenes, the conversations have started. We've already started disagreeing, right? Because we're talking about what needs to be done for us to be able to achieve this. And as I mentioned earlier on, I have two gentlemen in the house that are going to be helping me with the conversation. First, we have Sir Money, Mr. Frank A.J. Money, who is a road safety advocate, who will be helping us in the conversation. We also have Mr. Kweku Ananse, who also is a fireman, but also have extensive driving experience. And so, gentlemen, you're welcome into the studio.
Thank you, Yao.
So just before we went on break, as I mentioned, the show is proudly brought to you by Hisense. Hisense is the one that's making it possible for us to have these conversations. They care about passengers, they care about drivers, and so they are making it possible for us to have these conversations in a way that we improve the situation on our roads. So not only are they saying, we're selling TVs, fridges, and stuff, but they're saying that the conversations that go on between drivers and passengers and on our roads are very important. So they are supporting us to have these conversations. So we really appreciate the support from Hisense. Now, gentlemen, I would want to start with Frank.
Yes.
We've painted a picture from January to October. 2,000 people have lost their lives through road crashes. Now, I know you have more insights into what a risk or what the situation is. Can you paint a picture for us so far in Ghana and drill down into December, how the picture looks like from previous years?
Okay, thank you very much, Yao. And then thanks to the sponsors, Hisense. Road safety and road accident cases in Ghana is a very big problem that we are doing our best to bring the figures down. Looking at the stats that you gave, if you compare to Ghana here, it's about 10
times 10.
Times 10, yeah. And I have some figures here
from
the National Road Safety website, and I think I have to read out to viewers. So if you check December 2022, December only, the total number of accident cases reported is 1,285, December 2022.
That's 1 month.
1 month, yeah. And then December 2023 is 1,125.
Wow.
1 month. And out of these, the total number of persons that got injured in 2022 was 1,441, as compared to 2023, which is 1,164. Total death cases, 202 for 2022, and then 178 for 2023. So,
let me stop you there. These figures that you have given, are they for the year or just the month of December in these years?
just the month of December 2022 as compared to 2023. So 1 month.
What is the fatality for December 2022?
2022 is 202.
202.
Total number of people that got lost their lives. Yeah.
So, viewers, the reason why I'm asking this question is the total number of people that lost their lives in Ghana in just December 2022 are literally almost equal to the total number of lives that were lost in the whole year in Sweden. And they are saying it is unacceptable.
Yeah.
We recorded that in just 1 month.
Yes.
Keep that at the back of your mind. So please carry on.
Yes. So I will first of all say that if you look at the figures, there's a slight reduction from 2022 to 2023. And as we are all fighting for more reduction, we say that there is more room for improvement.
Yes.
So with the agencies, the law enforcers, the engineers, this is the stats. And that's why today we have opened this discussion that the December is just ahead.
Yes.
Are we going to see more reduction, or this time around it's going to be higher? Because you see, there's an election before the Christmas celebration. Whoever wins the Christmas is going to be a boom for that party. So this discussion is very much important. Okay.
So, Kokwanansi,
yeah,
as a fireman, I want you to also paint the picture from, your experience, right? You're not necessarily speaking in an official capacity, but from where you stand, how does the picture also look like?
Okay, so thank you, and then thanks to our brother, Ceremony. So if you look at the numbers, like you said, it's kind of going down. The idea would be that, as Sweden is saying, if our month numbers is more than their whole year, it's unacceptable. Yeah. But from where I sit, as a lover of cars, lover of like transport systems and all that, we've been on Trotro Diaries for however long. You see, the idea, and with these numbers, is that I was hoping maybe the road safety guys would have attached the sort of what contributed to the reduction.
Okay.
Was it enforcement that was increased? Or was it that there were more like signs on the roads to warn drivers? Or was it that the various unions were sort of educated in a way that they realized that, okay, if you don't have a good tire, we are not letting you move? So we need to take a look at what factors contribute to either the increase or the decrease. But as we are saying, for me, I think it has to do with the safety consciousness.
Okay.
For me, if you're going to ask me, from the background that I have, it's basically being safety conscious.
Okay.
Because the idea of the December thing is, it's festive. We want to be happy. A lot of people want to drive. I mean, the guy doesn't even have a license, but he would want to drive. You get it? Then if you go into the idea of people are moving, goods have to move. Yeah. The guy is tired. He still needs to deliver. All those factors come into play. So the way we are more relaxed during the other months of the year, it is not same when it gets to December.
Charlie, Accra stable I plan. Do you think we ever relaxed in this Accra?
Oh yeah. You know, I mean, the sort of traffic you're going to have in December, you wouldn't see it in February, March, unless probably there's something going on that you would have it. You know.
So okay.
Yeah. So with the numbers Semani is giving us, at least we are hoping that, let's say December 2024, we could do only 10.
Why can't it not be 0?
No, it can be 0. Yeah. You see, the thing is, we need to be realistic. I'm a practical person.
Okay. We'll jump to that. What I want for Money to also touch on is why, like, in your view, what is happening in December? Like, why is it? Because then again, we are saying that in December, there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of traffic. Shouldn't that rather translate to less accident? Because if there's traffic, that's less movement. I don't know if you get a point, right? When there's traffic, there are too many cars. Your car is not even moving. Do you understand?
Yes.
There's a lot of accidents attributed to overspeeding and all that. But when there's Christmas, there's like plenty cars. Shouldn't we be seeing fewer accidents and all that? What is really happening in Christmas?
Okay, thank you very much. You said there are a lot of traffic. Your vehicle is not moving. Mind you, the accident you're talking about here, most of the accidents that we record death are caused on the highway, the cities. For the inner cities, I'll scratch you, I'll go and work for you, maybe injury, small one, then we move on.
Okay.
But those that you hear, a bus, somersaulting, wrong overtaking, meeting a tanker or something, it's on the highway.
Okay.
I hope you understand.
Okay.
And that is what is recording the death. So the discussion is going to be broad. You talk the inner city small, then you go to the highway small. Yeah, so let me chip in this. First of all, we have to accept that we have a problem. And then, if we want to solve the problem, we plan towards solving it. December is coming. What are we doing? According to research, over 90% of the accidents are caused by human error.
When we say human error, what do we mean by
So let me break it down. Human error. The vehicle was parked in a garage, and then you went to buy it, and you brought it to the road.
Exactly.
Anything that you do on the road that will cause injury or death or destroy somebody's property, you, the human, you cause it. Because if it was parked in the garage, it wouldn't come and cause it by itself. So let's take the human error.
Okay.
Mostly when we say the human error, people think the driver. Fine, the driver can contribute. Out of the 90%, I can say that about 45 can be given to the driver. But you see, the motor rider sharing the road with the driver,
okay,
the pedestrian who is crossing and has decided not to use the footbridge,
okay,
the hawker who has seen that there is green light and still wants to change somebody, the bicycle rider, even the one who is supposed to ensure that the street lights are working, the road markings are well painted. You see, if you are driving at night and there is no street light and then the road markings are not visible, it's like you are in a death trap.
You don't know if you're on the left
Positioning the
or the
vehicle
right.
is very difficult. So, as I said, we need to plan. And it must start from the top to the down. The government must say that, okay, this year I'm expecting even foreigners to come and celebrate with us. So, even for December alone, let's work on all the street lights in the city. Let's work on all the traffic lights that are not working. Because I know some traffic lights are not working for the past 6 months.
Summer years.
Yes.
What do we call this place? Awoshibaya. Is it working now?
You see?
Because that traffic light hasn't been working 2 years or so. Because I remember 2 years ago when Bubu Ashikemehat was around, we actually went to do, around Christmas, went to do a video on that traffic light.
It's still not working. It's still not working.
Let me see, which other place? The other place is Russia Road. It doesn't work. And I think that's also the other side of things that, okay, in looking at the issue, right, what are the main things that are causing? Because how do we even advocate for road safety when the things that government is supposed to do, right, they are not doing? Like, if traffic light is important, why is it not being fixed? If road safety is important, okay, what happened to the street light? So the broader conversation, what is it? Why are people dying where there are things that we can do to prevent these deaths?
Yes, that's why I said, first of all, we have to accept that we have a problem. And are we ready to solve it? And solving it, I said, it must start from the top, straight to the down.
But the problem, Nankasa, what's the problem? Is it Abeifo or what? Because that's what we always, as a 31st night is coming, and one of the bonfire and our witches and so. What are the things that are contributing? I think you take lead in that, and then maybe you can also add to
yes. When we are talking about safety, we have 3 E's.
Okay.
The education aspect, the enforcement aspect, and the engineering aspect.
Okay.
If these 3 does not work at the same speed, you will not get the results that you need.
Okay.
Education aspect, I'm in the education aspect because I'm an advocate. But the engineering aspect, the road nature, the quality of even the newly constructed roads, the quality of it. And then the enforcement. If I realize, oh, my friend did this and got fined, or got arrested. He drove without license, and he has been arrested, or he has been sentenced to 6 months in prison. Physically, I know. It will deter me. I'll be scared to even drive that way. So the enforcement and the engineering and the education must come together to solve the problem of getting 200 people dying within 1 month.
Okay.
Very difficult.
Okay. So Kwekwanansi will come in. After, I want to come back to the engineering part, because I think that's also a part that we're not paying attention to.
Yes.
Considering that most of the vehicles in Ghana are second-hand accident vehicles. So when he's done, I think that's a point that I want to.
Okay, so yeah, I'll
Car
just,
lover.
yeah, you know I love cars. So you know the idea of Beifuano, yani Beifuano, like he said, from the driver to the pedestrian to the hawker to group, you are either the driver, the hawker, the pedestrian.
Commuter.
Yeah. So this is it. Like the 3 E's he spoke about. The idea is that you would need to have first the education, whether you are the driver, whether you are the pedestrian, whichever category you fall under.
Yes.
All right. Then is the enforcement. To see that I'm a hawker. Am I really selling at a place that is allowed? Nobody, you don't see anybody hawking on the motorway. Why? Has it ever crossed your mind that we have hawkers around?
Are you sure that there's nobody?
Do you see anybody
the cars
like,
are not slowing down?
Exactly.
If the cars slow down.
So that is it. Then it gets to his enforcement.
Before you get to the enforcement, right, with this question you brought up on the hawker, because this week we had a trending issue, hawker at this thing. One of the things that people are saying is that whether we like it or not, they will be there.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Like, because you brought up the hawker issue, what people bring up is, let's be realistic.
Yeah.
People need to make a living, and so as you're addressing the hawker issue, I want you to touch on
so I think that in as much as we want everybody to survive, we want to be realistic that people would hawk, let's do it right. The idea is, you see, the Ghanaian thing is, oh, let's give it human face. We like polishing stuff and massaging people's ego. For me, if you give me the chance, I would say no. The thing is a no, because the idea is, what is the point if somebody is going to lose a limb just because he's going to sell a bag of water? It doesn't make sense. So the idea, people, I think there was a video of the minister destroying some tables.
Producer, I don't know if we have that video.
And the newly
flower pot incident.
For me, it's a no. Right from start, it's a no. See, they can exaggerate and make the excuses of they having to sell to pay. The thing is, we all need to survive. Where you need to survive should not, one, like I'm a safety person, so like in fire service, they will tell you. The idea that you need to save someone or you need to do something for yourself does not mean you should die. Because if you die, you become a liability. So if people get that idea that, okay, I want to sell, I want to make money, but the point is, should I lose a limb? Should I lose a life? Should I make my brother lose his life because I want to make money? If the answer to that is no, then it's a no-go area. Why would you want to sell under a newly constructed, like, overhead or whatever it is? Why? Like, the question is, why?
But we said people should think out of the box, so
you thinking out of the box.
Entrepreneur.
Exactly. So if as part of the engineering, there was a dedicated area to take care of those people, fine. But if not, it's a no. And it's the reason why we lost the beauty to the circle. Side. Because we didn't factor to it that, okay, there are terminals all around. There's nothing we can do. So let's factor in the engineering of probably getting them spaces in here. If we don't do it, it's a no. We shouldn't condone the idea of entertaining Ghanaians and saying that, oh, let's give them small space. It becomes an afterthought, all right? And that will always affect us. So going into December, there will be a lot of hawkers on them. Are we saying that we should open every junction, that everybody should sell everywhere? Is that what we are saying?
Isn't it already like that?
Well, maybe it is, but you see, the thing is, in as much as we would want the numbers to go down, then we should task ourselves that we are not going to allow. We are just not going to allow. You see, it starts from, in as much as you are doing the education, people would also have to accept some form of responsibility. If we take that one out and it's just like, oh, let's advise the drivers. The drivers are overspeeding. You see, the focus always falls on drivers because if a bus falls down, the numbers. But the small ones that we don't pay attention to. I'm not sure all the 202 or 178 were all buses or
No.
well, you know, those numbers, the family people, the breadwinners that we lose, that should be the focus. So when we can take care of that, I think we are going to make a headway.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, if you just joined, we're talking about an accident-free festive period. Is that possible? We're focused on road safety because whenever we enter December, we begin to see a lot of accidents. And I think from last month, we've seen a consistent stream of accidents. There was one weekend that 150 people lost their lives. There's also the popular case of the pastor's son as well. And then after that, I think this week, there was a video that was trending. I don't know if we have that video of this big truck that just suddenly fell. And it is very sad. And I think that was partly due to the vehicle or due to the road. And I think you had something to mention earlier on. I don't know if you can touch on that before I come back to ceremony.
So for me, it cuts both ways. The road, the vehicle, and then the escort.
What do you mean by the escort?
Okay. So now this is the idea. For such large, like, haulage trucks, the idea of having a car either before or after it is to safeguard other road users and even the people transporting the goods. If you watch that video, you could see like the car just taking its time to tilt towards another car and just crash whoever was in the other car. Now, I'll put the first blame on the escorts. Because the idea is we can talk about roads for however long we want. Not all our roads will be fixed in time.
That's a fair.
So then, we need to now go on, okay, since the roads are not fixed, what do we do? Because, I mean, if you get there and it's a gutter, you wouldn't say it's a gutter, so you're going to jump it with your car. You find another route, okay. Now, there was an escort car. I don't know if people paid attention to it, but, you know, for some of us, our forensic background, so we take our time. We slow down the video. There was an escort car that was actually in front of that vehicle. I put it on them because it would have been their task to sort of either stop the oncoming vehicle, because it was another truck itself.
And then there was a private vehicle as
Exactly. So it would have been their responsibility to either let it stay at where their car was not going to tilt, or you let him pass. So you take your time. Either you occupy the entire middle section of the road and move. But they failed. And you see, this is it. It happens like this. Everybody goes like, oh, Anna, or no, people might even start blaming the victim instead of the culprit.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about an accident-free Christmas or festive period. We're going to go for a quick break. When we come back, we continue the conversation, a bit of education, understanding the situation, and see what we can do to contribute to that. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome back to the Church of Ice TV show on Joy Prime. It's every Saturday at 11 a.m. Today, we're talking about ensuring safety on our roads. Now, I have two gentlemen in the house. We're discussing the issue, but we also put it out on social media for people to share their experiences and give some comments. And here are some of the feedback that we got from online. So this one from Treasure Mame Kesinye says, God saved the guy sitting on the roads. He was very fast in running. So this is from a video that happened a couple of weeks back where some truck probably lost their brakes and then just ran into people. So if we have the video, we can show the video. We don't have the video. Okay, so we will just go to the comments. So Nana Abena Echampon says, this particular accident took the life of my elder brother. Sorry about that, Nana Abena. May he rest in peace. So this one says, so in that instance, where did the driver of the tanker go to? Ara B says, I don't understand the tanker car. Where was he speeding to? There's traffic and everyone is moving slowly, accordingly and orderly. The tanker driver just ended the lives of those in the private vehicle for nothing. So I think there's an issue that Ceremony will be touching on. In this case, what we understand is that he lost his brakes. So this goes into condition of vehicles and some of these issues. So we'll touch on it when we continue the conversation. Nana Kwame Poku says, Massa, don't understand why every election year, getting close to the last month of the year, there are so many accidents and loss of life. When we start a new year, you will never hear so much accidents like that. I think basically what Nana Kwame Poku is trying to say is, Abe Nabim. Okay. Nana Kwame Odro says, get down and go help. I think he's referring to the person that took the video. Henry Jebi says, at times, I'm always right is what usually... Okay. So what he's saying is that people saying that I'm always right is what causes these accidents. While you could have been defensive in driving and then maybe swerved. But I think if you look at the video in question, there was nowhere for some of these vehicles to swerve. So Fire says, I had an accident yesterday. If not for the mercies of God, my family would have been wailing now. I survived with a hurt in my arm and minor headache. So these are some of the things that we are seeing. Okay, we take the last two. Ekia Debbie says, hey, so now there, if you are carefully driving car, it's not safe anymore. Someone will just hit you from behind. And I think these are some of the things that Mane will be talking about, tailgating among other stuff. And the last one from Roka Raymond says, Mercy. Reason I don't like sitting in my car or standing by it at the roadside. But the guy who was standing by the roads there, his time no catch cry. This is what the grace of God does. If your time no reach, I swear, not even accident can surprise you. And I think one of the things that we observed when we showed the video earlier was people by the roadside were very conscious, which I think is something that we need to also touch on. You find people sitting by the roadside and they are not paying attention. They're on their phones and stuff like that. And I think these are things that we should touch on. So, Manny, let's go to the video where what we saw was a truck came into the other lane. When you investigate, it looks as if he had lost his brakes or something like that. And you realize this is conditions of the cars and all that. Can you touch on that and the other causes as well?
Okay, thank you very much. In Ghana, or let's say Africa, we have poor maintenance culture. As the vehicle that we have been using from January to November is the same vehicle that we are using to enter the December, where there are a lot of movement. Any passenger comes with extra luggage. Some are going to the various villages, towns, and they want to go and gift their family members. So if you go to the commercial stations, what preparation are they making towards the Christmas? There is this video that I want to talk about that clearly you can see that the vehicle that got created the accident was not properly maintained. Yes, look at this video. You see, sometimes when you're driving in the city, you have to avoid tailgating. He jumped a certain...
What's tailgating?
I'll explain. You see this? A whole axle removing from a truck. It means that the driver didn't maintain this truck very well. Before you move your car from the house, what are the things that you're supposed to check on the vehicle before you hit the road? In Ghana here, you go to the various stations. Sometimes I intentionally go to the stations and check the tires under the vehicles. And you can see that out of maybe 10, only 2 are in good conditions. And you ask what is tailgating. Tailgating is driving very close to the vehicle ahead of you.
Bumper to bumper?
Yes.
Okay.
And you can see that there was a training accident on the Adenta stretch where about 8 cars crashed each other. It is tailgating. When you are driving in the city, drive in such a way that you can see at least the 2 back tires of the vehicle ahead of you on the road. If you do that, it means there is a reasonable space between you and the vehicle ahead. But sometimes they will drive and they can't even see the number plates of the vehicle ahead of them.
But people will tell you that if you leave space,
taxi driver,
taxi driver, let them come. Let them come. You see, that's why I'm saying education is very important. Very, very important. Because even when the traffic light is green, sometimes some of the drivers, they will do later change of lane. And if there is a truck who has opened enough space for the red light, and then all of a sudden you switch lane and you go and stop there, what are you trying to cause? Accident.
Accident.
Yes, so we have to check the condition of the vehicles as we are entering December. Because majority of the Sprinter, the Trotro,
are not well maintained.
From January to November, you see, when we take maintenance, it's a whole topic that we can use about 2 weeks to talk about.
And I think the broader conversation also is that already these vehicles are coming in as accident vehicles and second-hand.
Yes.
Anyway, so what are some of the other factors that are contributing to this as well? Yes,
when we take the vehicle aspect, I said the driver contributes to over 45% of the 90% human error that I talk about.
Okay.
There is a video on seatbelts that I want to show and then explain. If you are driving, you have to ensure that your other occupants are in a seatbelt and you avoid wrong overtaking. The video I'm talking about, the driver did a wrong overtaking, had a crash, and over 4 of the passengers came out of the vehicle. Sorry that...
Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah. You see,
wow.
He did the wrong overtake. This is a clear dash cam capture. And you can see that human beings are rolling.
There's a guy in blue.
Yes. And that one will kill you faster than even the crash itself. I hope you understand.
Wow.
Yes, and you can see that very soon, December, people will be traveling with their families and they will not let them wear their seatbelt.
And so not to cut in. For me, this might even look more horrific than like if it was real. So my personal experience. So yeah, you know from back in the days when we used to do this Uber thing as hobby. So there was what's the name? Where you find Peace FM. There's a traffic light.
Tesano.
Yeah, on the Tesano stretch.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a personal experience. So it's after school. The parent picks up a child. And I've been saying this. I fought that thing when I came to Accra, so much so that I've given up. Yes, I've given up because you would meet, especially our mothers, with the kids in the car. And I just do not understand how it is that parents are not able to ensure that their kids sit in the back, strapped in a seatbelt. Now, I was just on the side where you take a left.
Okay.
You're able to take a left. Okay. So the traffic light is red. And like the brake thing, a Kia truck with this water thing lost his brakes. So he managed to use the gears to slow down.
Yep.
But then he still hit the back of this car. You know, the funny thing is, the car moved, he had stopped, it moved all right. But then because of the impact, the kid who was playing at that middle thing there, like hit his head on the dashboard and went under it. The kid was dead. He broke his neck. Oh, just like that.
There is a video on school bus.
Just as simple as
kids on the road.
So imagine like if he was just sitting at the back, the seat belt, the impact will come. But because he was not sitting, he was just playing. You see where the handbrake thing is, that middle thing, they stand there and be playing.
That's so sad.
So the drive, you see, so people forget that they are machines. They can break down anytime.
Let's watch another video on school bus. As we are talking about school children, quick one. It's a quick video.
You see?
This one, so I'm saying education is very important. If you watch this video closely, the children that we are educating, what are we teaching them? Even how to cross the road. You say, they'll tell you, if you get to the traffic light, there's something you should know. Red means stop, yellow means get ready.
It has changed.
Green means go.
This time, that video, I want to break it down right now as we are having a discussion. The children we are not teaching them enough how to cross the road.
So this is the same video that I was showing us.
Yeah. That's
so we'll put it on shortly.
Yeah.
Please.
What I'm saying is, as we are fighting for to ensure safety on the road, it should run from top to down. School children going to the school, we must teach them how to cross the road. School bus drivers must be trained how to handle children. Because children, when they close and they get to their various areas and they want to cross the road, it's out of excitement. So look at this one. The bus is there. The child begins to cross the road. And look at this.
In fact, this style of crossing is not just kids. even adults in Ghana.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And I usually see it, I experience it around Dakuman.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
There's this, I find it so annoying that it's like,
Yes.
it is so dangerous.
Yes. So that's why education is
Say for Bob
very
Marley.
much important. And this time, motor riders too, they have been a problem on the road. There is another video that I want us to watch about motor riders. The road is not a playground. That's the title of the video. Now, you meet a motor rider on a normal day, then he will raise the front tie and just do that for some few seconds and then land, and he's happy.
Yeah, exciting.
And a motor rider did it and at the end met a vehicle. I have titled it Road, Not a Playground. I want us to watch so that I explain it. If you're a motor rider, make sure that whatever you are doing on the road is contributing to road safety. Because these motor riders, the moment they fall off the motorcycle, you either break your leg, your arm, or look at this one.
Aye. Oof.
Viewers' discretion.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Yes.
So-
yes.
I literally felt the impact.
So, you know, as part of the education, I think we need, as part of the Trotro Diaries advocacy,
Yes.
we need to let them know that, please, they should stop using their hazards. For me, I like bringing it local. Yeah, you will meet 10 motor riders in Accra. 8 of them will have their hazard lights on. So whether they are turning left or right, you don't know.
And he doesn't have a helmet too.
Exactly.
The idea is, even if you are delivering food, the guy is sitting in his room comfortably. You are bringing me food, and you want to go and die
You want to rush?
in order to bring me food.
Yes.
So please, our motor riders, we have our brothers in there and all that. Do not use the hazard. Let us know if you are going left, you turn it left. If you are going right, you turn it right. And these are some of the basic things. If you do this, and let's say out of 100, we save 90, at least the numbers will go down.
We'll keep going now. So, gentlemen, we have about 5 minutes to wrap up, right?
Yes.
What I want us to look at now is we've talked about, okay, what is happening, what is contributing. We've talked about tailgating, we've talked about some of these other stuff. As we enter the Christmas season, right? On top of it, it's also election.
Yeah.
What are the things that we should be looking at doing to improve the situation? What do we need to do? I mean, and this one, we're not talking about book or no. Practically, right? Let's localize the suggestions. Let's localize the solutions. What do we need to do to improve the situation? Last year, you said December 2023, we lost 178 people.
Yes.
No, that's totally unacceptable.
Yeah.
So what do we do? How do we use this platform? What are the suggestions that we can put out there to help improve the thing?
Okay, first of all, I will entreat every road user to make a pledge. Tell yourself that I have to ensure that I go out and come back home safely, whether I'm using a motorcycle, whether I'm using a bicycle, whether I'm using, whether I'm walking or driving. You see, whether the traffic lights are not working, whether the roads are not good, at the end of the day, your life matters. Yeah. Even now that we are strong, going and coming, we are still struggling to make it. How much more being careless a bit and then allowing somebody to cross you? Sometimes on an intersection, there is always a problem. Just calm down.
And I see there's a video on distractions as well, so if you can touch on that as well.
Yes, so every driver, when you sit behind the steering wheel, there are 4 things that can take your concentration or distract you. We have the auditory distraction. That's anything that you hear, which is not part of the driving, is trying to distract you through your ear. And then we have visible one, that you are watching things that are not part of the driving process itself. Visible one. Then we have the cognitive one. You are thinking of something outside the driving. Meanwhile, you are driving. Yes, somebody will be in the house. Somebody is driving and he's thinking of what his car now will see at the end of the day. So that's cognitive. And then manual, you are using your hand to do something that's not part. Somebody say, I was changing the radio station and then the car ahead of me stopped suddenly and then I hit. Then it will become a problem. So when you sit behind the steering wheel, please speak to yourself. Speak to yourself that today, no matter what happens, I'm not going to expect perfect behavior from other road users. I'm not going to contribute to road accidents. I have to make sure that my family, these people are waiting for me. so that they can also have their way of life moving smoothly for them. So that's what I would say concerning the activism.
Yeah, so yeah, for me, as you said, it should be practical. Please, one, we should stop praying in favor of accidents. Now, this is what I mean. We'll be going for conventions, yeah? The car takes 30 people. The 30 people, everyone has a luggage.
Yes.
We will take 35 and say, Nyame Emfa Nkombra. We should stop. That is one. Two, like he said, you've used the car January to November. At least visit the shop.
Yes.
Before December. Because the idea is that in December, it's either you or a friend or a family needs your car to move here and there. So at least let's check. And then ties. All right? At least. Well, for this one, let me chip it in that for the governments, all the governments, we beg them, they should remove the duties on ties and insist that everybody uses a brand new tie. So that when you don't, we can put you in jail. That one there, if we've given you the opportunity. Because the thing is, the fact is, the average taxi driver cannot afford to buy a pair of brand new ties.
Yes.
What's it, the average taxi driver?
Oh, no, let me go
private,
down.
Private
No,
driver.
I don't want it to sound like maybe we are targeting them or...
No, I'm saying
let me just reduce it for them.
The average private
No,
driver.
I mean the private there, you are alone, so at least you can manage. But we are talking about the transport, like those people that will haul our luggage and haul we the human beings as part of it. Okay, so these are some of the practicalities.
Okay.
And let's just pay attention. Whether there's traffic lights, there's the police, and please, Dampare, more visibility so that we stop misbehaving. Thank you.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much. As he said, pay attention. Why? Because your life matters. We need you this Christmas, the next Christmas, and beyond. And the thing is that a lot of these things, as Manny mentioned earlier on, they are human errors, which means that if we can do things better, we can save more lives, and then we can enjoy the Christmas, and whoever wins the election, we all will go enjoy, because everybody, the campaign songs, hey, they will enjoy, we'll jump together.
We all go dance.
But we need you alive for that. So this has been a conversation on how we can ensure that this Christmas, we drastically reduce the accidents on our road. This has been a Trotro Dice TV show on Joy Prime. We're here every Saturday at 11 a.m. Thank you, Hisense, for sponsoring today's show. And we definitely will be back next week. As you go out, please make sure you take care. Teach your kids how to cross the road, your family. Share this video with them. It will be on Facebook, so you can share the conversation with them as well. And let's make sure we stay safe out there. Thank you so much for joining us, and see you next week.